You know, I'm pretty new to beekeeping. I've owned bees 1 year, and this is my second year. I've played with them for 3 years though, or two, and this is my third. But I've always kind of had, I don't know what's the word, ingrained or nailed into my head, metaphorically, that you should always get queen bees from trusted sources. Trusted, what do you call them, breeders. And these are feral bees. And I just treated them with oxalic acid. And I've done a lot of cutouts. And I get some bees that are pretty nasty, but most of them aren't. These guys are about as gentle as they get. Of course, after you go into a box, it can get a lot nastier, but you still have a good idea if you just hang outside of a hive, like here. I mean, I'm literally right here. See, bees, hello bees. They don't care. And I just gassed them. You know, I kind of disrupted their little routine. But, I don't know, I'm thinking there's not a darn thing wrong with feral hives. I mean, this was a swarm that came in, so perhaps they're not. Perhaps it's a mated queen from some breeder, but I've gotten enough swarms where, or not swarms, but cutouts where some of those were certainly feral, for sure. Like straight up feral. And even they would requeen themselves after I got them. I've had plenty of bees requeen themselves, and I personally really starting to think that there's not a darn thing with just run-of-the-mill mutt bees that you get out from the wild. And I don't know, it's just my 2 cents. I'm new, so I could be totally wrong, but that's my 2 cents worth. Yeah, these guys were they didn't like being smoked. Or should I say treated. So let's see if we can kind of cook some, go back inside. I'm not very good at filming and working. I know I always miss the shot. I'll go to the right or the left, up, down. But anyway, I still gotta take this thing down. My 2 weeks aren't up yet though. Although when I put this video up, it might be after 2 weeks. Which is the time I've given myself to take this sucker down and put it into a real hive. It's so funny, I never expected this to catch anything, and I did it when I first put it up, but I just had no luck. No scalpies, nothing. Until all of a sudden, boom, swarm moved in. This year's been crazy for swarms. Like there's postings, not anymore, but like last month it seemed like every day there were new swarms, new cutouts, bees everywhere. And I guess they were so hard up they chose my crappy box, which is actually rather precise in internal volume. I think it's 30 liters internal volume, but I've already been over that. I think the orientation is why they didn't want it. They prefer if this were vertical, like without the sound effects, but oh, look at that. Y'all are hiding. Just get back in your box. We'll smoke them back. Let's see. I don't want to fall off. my smoker's not smoking very well. There's a lot of wood bits in there. They work well after they get going, but it's not going so well. Like hard chunks, little sticks. But they sure last a long time. But anyway, I think that's enough for this. They can make their way back in on their own, which they will eventually. But anyway, that's it for today.